Coach, thanks. Located appropriately for his career win total at 347 Don Shula Drive. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami, Florida. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Miami Dolphins. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I got one.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Now Ballage. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. The play fake to Ballage. Now Rosen. They're able to locate Wilson. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Now Rosen on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
I got you, baby. I got you. 56. Hey, alert. Right there. 56.
Now it's Rosen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now Rosen looking to throw. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
25.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run it with Carson. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let him know.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 61 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll try to run with Carson. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Here we go.
At their own 31-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
32-yard line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Rosen. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's first and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. They'll run here with Blanche. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Sanders' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
50's a month. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Switch, switch, switch.
They'll toss it out to Carson. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rosen just getting the snap off and 1. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. It got his man complete. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they're bringing your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Rosen to his tight end, Gesicki. Solid. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes Grant on the return, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position,
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Play action. It's Wilson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks.
First down, Seattle.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Run left, run left. Hey, 0.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crowley. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Middle.
At the Seahawks, 35-yard line.
Again, it's Balaj. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Get ready.
Balaj. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Let's see what you got. Watch the eye. Run that.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Rush in.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 20-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Alert, 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 alert. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. That's it. Double dog. That's the way.
Now it's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They go play action with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rosen. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They run it with Balaj. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Rosen will throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Right. Hey, Charlie. Mike 56. Mike 56. Watch the run. Mike 56. Mike's 56. Here it comes. Hey, alert, alert. Check 26. Pick the edge, pick the edge. Come, come.
To throw is Rosen. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Miami. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
15, check by 15. Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Here we go. Here we go. Shift. Gotta go. In and out. Let's go.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And this is incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They go play action now. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right, and you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Stand up in. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check. Hey, quarter.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rosen. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the 1st down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
64, weak.
Now a handoff looking right. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Oh, what a move. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Check 56. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
On the toss, here's Balaj. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Ballage, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Play action. Now Wilson. Looking deep for Jennings. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Wilson to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Taco Charlton in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get